Hey everybody, Chris Bober here with Team Bober at Nebraska Realty, and welcome to summer of 2019. We're finally through this crazy spring market, still lingering a little bit, but we're into July. And July is what I call the pivot. I'm going to show you some information today that's going to show you why in July things start to change for the rest of the year. And as always, our mission is to educate and empower our clients to make great real estate decisions, and our promise is to provide current and valuable information to help you understand the real estate market and process so you can effectively navigate the marketplace. So, when I'm talking about a pivot, I like to just show the definition. A fixed point supporting something which turns or balances, and I would say that every year in the real estate market, pivots around July. And I'm going to show you some crazy stats that are going to prove my point here. All right, just to kind of bring us up to date on what's gone on through the first 5 months of the year. They don't have statistics available for June just yet, but it's going to be pretty steady. What we're seeing right here, and the common conception out there is that we're in a crazy real estate market, everything's up, stuff's selling in hours, it's a great time for real estate. And it is in a lot of ways, especially for sellers. However, if you look at the statistics closely, you'll notice that we're down almost 10% in sales this year. Again, an indicator, and we are coming off record years, but we are trending downward when it comes to the number of sales. The prices, believe it or not, are up. Of course, that's driven by low interest, which is pushing more buyers in the market. Also, low inventory, low supply, more demand pushes the price up. Overall, there's actually about 1% more houses on the market. Not a big change there. But if we look at this side, prices are up, sales are down, right? So there's a couple key statistics we're going to kind of focus in on today. And the first one is going to be the closed sales. Now what you see right here, new construction is actually down 22.8%, which is a lot. Tons of factors there. We're not going to get into them today. But if you look at the number of existing homes that have sold the past 3 years, you can see a steady decline from 4,600 in 2017 year to date to 4,100 in 2009 year to date. Obviously, you can see the numbers are going down. And what you'll see over here is the year-over-year average. And we were up, we were down, and now we're down again, okay? So in May of 2019, we're down, at the end of May, about 6%, okay? All right, now, this is a graph, and thanks so much to the Great Plains Regional MLS for providing the statistics, but this is the Housing Affordability Index, which is a fancy way of saying how far is your money going towards buying houses, right? The higher the number, the more affordable the house. So the numbers started all the way up here in the 200s, and now we're seeing them going all the way down to here. So housing is becoming less affordable according to this index. That has to do with pricing, has to do with the value of cash, with inflation, all kinds of different things. But as you can see, housing is becoming less and less affordable, right? The prices of houses basically are going up more than the price of money, right? So there's a little statistic right there. But this is the final statistic is where I'm going to prove my point about the pivot point happening in July. Now this happens every year. Now this is for the last 12 months. This is the list to sale price ratio. So basically if you list it at 200 and you sell it for 200, you got 100% of your price, right? If you sold for 190, you got 95% of your price. And it takes all the sales out there, it takes what they asked for them and what they got for them. And what you'll see is it peaks in June. In June, in the existing home side, you get about 100% of what you're asking for. So you put your house out there for a great price. April and May listings close in June at about 100% of what they're asking. It goes all the way down throughout the late summer and fall to where it really dips down to the 97% in about January, right? The coldest, darkest month of the year. Then it starts going back up again, right? But I'm going to show you how this thing pivots around July and why you want to be interested in what's going on next. So this is from 2017 all the way up until now. June of 2018, here's June of 2017. And every year you see a decline. This last year in 2018 was a very steady and smooth decline of asking price versus sale price. So this means they're getting about 100%. Now we're getting down to 97% towards the end, right? That means these houses are priced up here still, but the sales are down here. So the ratio goes down a little bit. Of course, just like last year, we went right back up here towards 100%. Well, where do you think it's going? A steady decline, right? Well, where do you think it's going next, right? We are officially hitting the pivot. That might happen a few weeks late just because of our late winter and spring, but inevitably, it will start to go down, right? So what's coming for the second half of 2019? Number one, well, we're gonna have a slower market. And history tells us that. The rush is still there in a lot of ways, but it's gonna start going down. What does that mean? That means more opportunities for everyone, I truly believe, right? Buyers are gonna be in a much, much better position at the end of the summer, going into the fall and winter than they are right now. If you are a buyer or know anyone who's buying a house, you know you're writing several offers, you're not getting very good terms, you have to pay pretty much what they're asking. Warranties, inspections, all those things are out the window because sellers are in such control, they're getting great terms. It's hard to be a buyer these days in the market, but you're gonna start getting better prices and better terms as we head into the fall. Investors. In the fall, investors start coming into the mix. Now, we love working with investors, but they've really been on the sideline for quite a while. Going into the fall, they'll get more and more active because they're gonna get better prices and terms. And of course, they work on ROI, they work on pricing and margins, and those things mean something to them. Next up, I actually think sellers will be in a very good position. It's still gonna be a very good time to sell. Of course, the best time to sell is when you need to sell. But going into this market, you might not get the very tippy top of the price range that you're looking at. However, it'll definitely be a much more pleasant experience. Believe it or not, even on the seller side, when things are crazy and things are moving fast, it's very emotional, it's very time consuming, it's hard. Okay, even on the seller side, there's a lot of work to do. Going into the fall, you have a buyer and a seller, they come together and they negotiate in fairness. They get to sell and buy a house for both sides get good terms. All right, so looking at the summary of what's going into next year, I believe that the second half of 2019 will be an excellent real estate market, especially for buyers, right? Buyers are gonna come back into the marketplace and they should have better expectations. I also believe the record low interest, remember, interest rates are down around 4 again, and drastically low inventory are going to create fantastic opportunities out there. But I'll give one caveat to a little asterisk that goes on there, P.S. This won't last forever. At some point, this market will continue to turn over. It'll start staying more balanced and eventually turn towards the buyers, okay? We're going to see a little bit of that this fall, and as it goes out there, what I'd highly encourage you to do is if you are thinking of buying some real estate, now's the time to kind of get into the market and call up people like Team Bober, give us a holler. We're going to help you understand the process, help you understand what we do, help you understand where your money's going, and we'll set you up with a search so that as these opportunities come available, you're going to be waiting for them and you'll be ready to pounce. Okay? So for any all information about real estate, about Team Bober, you want to go ahead and go to teambober.com. This is our website. We have information about Team Bober, Chris and Jen and I, and we have information about our services. We have information about the market, our blogs attached to that. We have videos, we have a search feature, tons of great features at teambober.com. So, yeah, there it goes, spinning around. But if you need us, of course, you can always contact us. My number is 312-5076. You can send me an email at chris@nebraskarealty.com, and of course, teambober.com. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please feel free to share, to like it, to comment on it. And if you have any questions about what's going on to do with anything with real estate, be sure to call Team Bober.